Welcome to Late Reviews. Today I'll be talking about Freaky Deaky from 2012, a movie that did frustrate me quite a bit, and I'm here to share my frustration. I filmed this video for a bigger retrospective on Michael J. White's career, where I went through much of his filmography, and this is just one of them, so if you're interested in that, you can go and check that out. And that also means I have more of a focus on Michael J. White in the movie than his role might deserve. I will just go over what I liked about the movie, what I didn't like. It's not going to be a deep analysis or anything, it's just going to be a brief review to give you the idea if this is a movie you should watch or shouldn't, and hopefully also just give you a few laughs on the way. Maybe not so much with this movie because this really frustrated me. There will be a few spoilers, but I'll try to keep it light on the spoilers, not to ruin the movie for you, should you want to watch it yourself. But let's get started. It is a movie I could probably talk about extensively, but I don't think it's worth it. It is another movie where I disagree with the vast majority of the reviews I found. I think this is a terrible movie. It has more than decent reviews. A lot of people think it's a very clever movie. I think it's a very stupid movie disguising itself as a clever movie. A very poorly written one. Everything is all over the place and it's very difficult to keep track of what's happening. And a movie that's overall just so boring that it was very difficult to stay focused because nothing happens in this movie, despite many things happening. I'm not even sure where to start. I guess a brief plot summary is that it takes place in the mid-70s. We follow, already here is confusing. So we follow a police officer that was a bomb specialist, a part of the bomb squad, but was decommissioned, was thrown out of the force, I think, and then set up a private detective agency, is what I thought. Actually, he's a lawyer, I think, and he takes on a case of a woman who has been no-note by a big important movie director. Michael J. White is somehow related to this guy, but he's also working for other people. I didn't really understand if he was a bodyguard or also an agent or a security guard. Also hired to be in this case, but for different reasons. But they do cooperate, but sometimes they also do quarrel. The relationship is really difficult to understand. I really tried to, after watching the movie, I just tried to find a plot summary or anything, but this movie doesn't. I couldn't find any plot summary of the movie. I just wanted to know what the fuck was going on in this movie because it's all over the place and I couldn't find any help. So that's also why I refused to watch this movie twice because I really didn't like it. But that's why I also can't really do a big review of it because it's just so confusing. It's so all over the place and so poorly written and structured. So they are trying to investigate this crime, but then because someone is trying to bomb the movie director, instead of just prosecuting him and investigating the case, they have to defend him, I think. Because that's the only way I can explain why instead of, trying to prosecute him or investigate this allegation by this woman, they just decide to protect him instead. And the people planning these bombs are another director-producer and a star, a woman, a femme fatale who has been in some of these movies. And they're doing it for reasons. If it was insurance money or what it was, but they will get money. I think they will try to, but that doesn't even make sense. They're doing this for money. I don't understand how it will give them money, but they're doing this for money. They're bumping people for money. Maybe revenge as well, but especially money. And that's basically it. There are so many odd decisions in the movie. For example, the very young woman who accuses the producer/director for no-knowing her very quickly just falls into love with the much older detective investigator and even disrupts her own assault case, to sleep with this person and to annoy him. It treats nothing respectfully. Nothing is done with respect to characters. Nothing is done in a believable way in this movie. It's all over the place. And my absolute biggest gripe with this movie is the acting. Christian Slater is playing the bad director who is being involved in these bombings. He is a lunatic, he is a weak-minded man who is just taken in by this femme fatale and does her bidding. There's nothing likable about his character, there's nothing redeemable about his character. He just looks quirky and they think that's enough for him to be presentable. He's not funny, he's terrible in the movie, he's terribly written, he does nothing worth value. He's supposed to be both quirky and funny and cool, but he's nothing. He's terrible in this movie. He's very, very, very bad. I understand why he doesn't have a big acting career anymore, because if this is the performance he gives, he shouldn't have an acting career. And that's not even the worst. This movie has Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover is playing the producer, director who no-knowed this woman. I should also let you know that it's a big question whether he did no-know or didn't no-know. A lot of the comedy comes from him not remembering if he did it or what constitutes a no-no. Like, if both were drunk or if there was no penetration, was it a no-no? This is not funny. It's not funny to have this quirky discussion of when a no-no is a no-no. It could be funny, I guess. I'm not saying this can never be funny. I'm just saying that the way it's done in this movie is not funny at all. It's serious stuff treated without any respect. This was before Me Too, by the way. Just keep that in mind. This movie was made before Me Too. I don't think this movie could get made today. So Crispin Glover is weirdest, creepiest, sleaziest, uncomfortable person. It doesn't make sense that this person is involved in the industry at all because he's not eccentric. He's a creep. He's a weirdo. He doesn't have the capacity to structure any thoughts in the movie, meaning he's completely incompetent. He's a massive idiot. It kind of seems like he's constantly on drugs in the movie, constantly seems dazed. He has no real constructive thoughts in the movie. He has no insights. He's just this dimwit. So how can a dimwit become one of the most influential producers, directors in Hollywood? Insert joke here. I'm not going to insert it myself. But not just that. He's just so creepy. The thing is, he's supposed to have no-no the person, but the movie then makes us sympathize with him because our protagonists have to protect him against being assassinated, against losing his money, because he's being blackmailed, or, they're trying to threaten him into giving them the money. But why are we supposed to sympathize with this person? He's a creep. He's a weirdo. He is uncomfortable to be around. There's nothing nice about this character. I hate every single scene with him. And Crispin Glover, maybe you could argue it's good acting because it makes us hate him so much. If the point was that we had to hate this character so much that we actually have to protect and follow and sympathize with in the movie, then they did a good job. Or maybe Crispin Glover is just really bad at doing this, but maybe he's an insanely good actor. I just hate his character in this movie. Crispin Glover's character is so awful. He has the creepiest vibes. And I kept thinking, why is this so creepy? Why is something so wrong about this? I think a big problem comes from him being styled after Rodney Alcala, also known as the dating game killer or the dating show killer. He looks like an actual serial killer. He looks like a serial killer. A serial killer who assaulted people and probably no children. That's the guy. That's the guy that decided to base this characters on. That's what this guy looks like in the movie. It's so uncomfortable. It's so poor taste. Could it have been by accident? Maybe, but this is a very well-known serial killer. They would have known how he looked like, unless they're completely stupid, incompetent people. And I don't think they're as stupid and incompetent as they come out as in this movie, because this is such a bad movie. It's just so uncomfortable all around. I think I should end my review of it here. Michael J. White doesn't have a good performance in it. He doesn't have a bad performance. It's just because the movie is so terrible, so terribly written. This is a comedy, but there's nothing funny about it. This is an action movie, but there's no action in it. This is a crime drama, but there's no drama in it. And the crime in it is so stupid that it makes no sense. This is a movie that's all around bad. It's all around awful. It has no redeemable qualities. It's a movie written by people who think they're funny, who think they're quirky, who think they're intelligent, but who are none of it. This is one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time, and it really made me angry. You should really, really, really not watch this movie. It is bad. It is baffling bad. And that's all I have to say about the movie. Don't watch it. It's a waste of your time. The movie is an insult to people who go through these things. It's an insult to good acting. It's an insult to comedy. Insult to writing. Probably also an insult, because this is an adaptation. It's probably also an insult to the source material. So don't watch this movie. Don't give this movie your money or your time. So thank you for watching my video. I will leave it here. I hope you found it a bit insightful, or at least a bit entertaining. That's what I'm here for. If you're interested in seeing my other videos, you can of course subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, so bye.